Hi, I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the strategy room. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton's camp was not pleased with the decision by FBI Director James Comey to reopen the investigation into Clinton's email case. But according to the latest batch of WikiLeaks emails, their concerns about the FBI director are not new. Senior Clinton aide Jennifer Palmieri called Comey a bad choice as FBI director to Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta, who did not respond. What does all of this mean for the Clinton camp as the investigation continues? Joining me now, professor of Iona College and strategist at Applied Economics, Jeannie Zaino, and columnist for the Fiscal Times, Liz Peek. Welcome to you both. Liz, I'm always curious about whether these things are just too much inside politics, inside baseball, and that the general populace just really don't care because they've already made up their minds, or is this really a serious issue that people are going to be taking issue with?
Well, I think the FBI investigation has been and is a serious issue, and the fact that it's ongoing and that it has spread into looking into the Clinton Foundation more publicly is certainly hurting Hillary Clinton in the polling and just in voter trustworthiness, all those kinds of assessments. She has been hurt by this. I'm going to plug myself here. I think it was about a year ago, I wrote a piece about James Comey and how it was not Bernie Sanders that Hillary Clinton had to worry about. It was James Comey because he had a reputation for being a straight guy who was sort of no-nonsense, not political. And then, of course, in July, when he came out and criticized Hillary Clinton but did not, and said he was not going to recommend for indictment, Republicans were very disappointed. I think clearly, in retrospect, it was not just Republicans who were disappointed. It was people in the FBI who felt that the investigation was slipshod, that they had given enormous favors to the Clinton campaign. And by the way, the more we find out about people in the Bureau of Justice, the Department of Justice, who are allied with the Clinton campaign, you really just sort of feel heartsick to have Peter Kadzik, one of Podesta's best friends, overseeing now the inquiry into the emails. It's horrendous.
Jeannie, Palmieri openly criticized Comey last week, saying the decision put himself, quote, in the middle of the campaign. Are we just looking at the ugly circuitry of what goes on behind campaigns and, campaigns, or is there something more here? I mean, was this something that he should have not really done?
James Comey, I think, was caught between a rock and a hard place on this one. And I think, of course, just like the Republicans criticized him in July when he didn't recommend a grand jury, didn't recommend indictment, and he was the darling of the Democratic Party for several months. And when this happened on Friday, things switched and Republicans were thrilled and Democrats are, he's become vilified. That's part of what happens in campaign politics, of course. But I think the real concern here is that it is very tough when you have the president who is overseeing the executive branch and the FBI and who is out there openly campaigning for a nominee for president of his own party, which he has every right to do. People have serious questions as to whether you can get a fair and impartial investigation out of an FBI in this kind of structure.
Right.
And unfortunately, from my perspective, that's something that has not been discussed at all. What can we do? Should an independent counsel have been called, which many people have called for? Because, it is a big problem when the American public feels that what is going on is not legitimate and is not fair. And I think whether you are Democrat or Republican, liberal or conservative, you're hard-pressed to imagine that this is an unbiased investigation. And so that is where people feel this amount of frustration. And I think it would benefit the Democrats and the Republicans, but especially the Democrats in this case, to have called for something more impartial and gotten themselves out of this FBI Director Comey Obama administration investigation.
Liz, I want to get your take on this because it has had a major effect on the polls.
For sure. I mean, well, interestingly, it isn't only Comey's announcement on Friday that this investigation was ongoing that slanted the polls towards Trump. That had been going on for, I would say, 4 or 5 days. It acted as an accelerant, perhaps, to that. I think right now we're kind of stalled. I think we're sort of in equilibrium. I don't see a major shift either way. Now, it's Friday. We often get Friday surprises that,
We hate Friday surprises.
I know. We don't need any more surprises, maybe. But, look, it's 4 days. We may get 4 more days of WikiLeaks pointing out things that are pretty hideous for the Clinton campaign. I don't know whether it really change any minds at this point. It's a good question.
All right. I want to thank you so much, Liz and Jeannie, for being here.
Thank you.
And for complete coverage of the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.